Are you brave enough to say her name 3 times? What if I told you the story you heard as a kid, about the ghost in the mirror who shows up if you say her name 3 times? Is just the surface of something way darker, way older, and way more real than you ever imagined. Today, we're peeling back every creepy layer of the Bloody Mary legend to uncover where it came from, why people are still obsessed with it, and whether there's any truth behind the fear. The origins of Bloody Mary, not just a party trick. So, first things first. Everyone's heard of Bloody Mary. You turn off the lights, look into a mirror, say her name 3 times, and either nothing happens, or you see something terrifying. But where did this even come from? This isn't just some spooky game made up by bored kids at a sleepover. The story of Bloody Mary actually has roots that go way deeper, into folklore, witch trials, history books, and even real royal blood. There are a few different versions of the legend floating around depending on who you ask. Some say Bloody Mary is the ghost of Mary Worth, a witch who was burned at the stake. Others swear it's Mary I of England, known as Bloody Mary, because of how many people she had executed. And then there are versions that say she was just a regular woman, maybe a mom, who lost her baby and went mad, doomed to haunt mirrors forever. Let's break down these versions one by one. Mary I of England, the Queen of Blood. We gotta start with Mary Tudor, aka Mary I, the real-life queen who ruled England in the 1500s. She was the daughter of King Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon, and she became queen after years of political drama that would put Game of Thrones to shame. Mary was a hardcore Catholic, and during her reign, she ordered the execution of hundreds of Protestants in an attempt to restore Catholicism. Because of this brutal campaign, people started calling her Bloody Mary. Here's the wild part. Even though she was a queen, she lived in constant fear, had phantom pregnancies, like her body believed she was pregnant even though she wasn't, and was eventually betrayed by those close to her. Her life was basically a tragedy from start to finish. Some believe that her tortured soul is the one summoned in the mirror game, angry, vengeful, and full of unfinished business. Another version of the story points to a woman named Mary Worth. This one comes from American folklore, and says Mary lived in a small village where she was accused of witchcraft. She supposedly kidnapped young girls and used their blood for dark rituals. When the villagers found out, they dragged her out and burned her alive. Right before she died, she cursed anyone who dared to speak her name in a mirror. If that's not horror movie material, I don't know what is. Then there's a more tragic version. In this one, Mary was a beautiful woman who lost her child. Some say during childbirth, others say he was murdered. She became so obsessed with finding her baby that she stared into mirrors, begging for a sign. Eventually, she died heartbroken. Now, according to this tale, she appears to people who call her name, looking for her child, mistaking the caller for her killer, or sometimes even trying to take their soul. Creepy, right? So, why the mirror? This isn't just a random prop in a scary sleepover game. Mirrors have been thought of as portals for centuries, like actual gateways between the living and the dead. In ancient Greece, people believed mirrors could show you your soul. During Victorian times, families would cover mirrors when someone died so the soul wouldn't get trapped inside. And in some Eastern European traditions, mirrors were said to be tools for seeing into the future, but only if you knew how to use them. So when you're saying Bloody Mary's name in front of a mirror, in total darkness, what you're really doing is calling something or someone from the other side. And maybe, just maybe, it's not just a game. The game, how people actually play it. Let's talk about the rules, because almost everyone has a slightly different version. The classic version: go into a bathroom, turn off the lights, stand in front of the mirror, light a candle or use your phone's flashlight. Say Bloody Mary 3 times, sometimes it's 5 or 13, depending on who you ask. Wait, what happens next? That's the part that gives everyone chills. Some say you'll see her face. Others say she'll scratch your eyes out. A few people claim they blacked out, passed out, or heard whispers in the dark. With TikTok and Reddit crawling with Bloody Mary challenges, the story's taken on a new life. There are videos, thousands of them, where people try this on camera. Some are clearly faking it, but once in a while you see something that just feels off. Lights flicker, reflections don't match, or something moves behind them when nobody's there. And that brings us to a problem. The real problem. What happens if it's not just a game? Let's be real, most people don't actually believe in ghosts. But when you're in a dark room, staring at yourself in a mirror, something changes. Your brain starts to glitch a little. There's even a name for this, the Troxler effect. It's a psychological phenomenon where your brain starts ignoring parts of your vision, especially when you stare at one thing for too long in low light. That's why people think their reflection is changing, melting, or staring back with different eyes. But here's the twist, just because your brain is playing tricks doesn't mean nothing paranormal is going on. Because if millions of people around the world have played this game, and thousands swear they saw something, what if just one of them wasn't lying? What if something really came through? Let's talk about a few real-life stories that people have shared. Case #1. The girl with the scratches. In 2006, a 13-year-old girl from Chicago played the game during a sleepover. She did the ritual, laughed about it, and went to bed. The next morning, she had 3 deep scratches down her cheek. No one saw how they got there, and they looked too precise to be random. Doctors couldn't explain it. Her parents thought it was self-harm, but she swore she never touched her face. Case #2. The missing reflection. A teenager on Reddit shared a story where, after saying the name, their reflection stopped moving. Like, they turned their head, but their mirror self stayed facing forward. They ran out of the room and never tried it again. Creepy coincidence? Mirror glitch? Or something else? Case #3. The candle went out. A group of friends filmed themselves doing the Bloody Mary ritual on Halloween. They used a single candle. They said the name 3 times, waited, and the candle went out by itself. No breeze, no window, nothing. One of them swore they saw a hand in the mirror, right before it went dark. They all ran screaming. The video's online, but whether you believe it or not is up to you. So, is she real? Here's the truth. There's no scientific proof Bloody Mary is real. There's no evidence that saying her name in a mirror will summon a ghost, demon, or angry queen from the dead. Buzz keep coming. People keep playing. And some of them swear they've seen her. Maybe Bloody Mary is just a legend. Maybe it's a reflection of our fear of the dark, or the unknown, or even ourselves. Or maybe, just maybe, she's real. And every time someone says her name, they're giving her just enough power to slip through. So after all this, are you still tempted to try it? If you do, remember, the game might just be a trick of the mind. A campfire story that grew into a global myth. Or it might be something else. Something older. Something that feeds on belief, fear, and curiosity. Because whether you believe in Bloody Mary or not, one thing's for sure. The moment the lights go out and it's just you, your own voice echoing her name, that fear feels very real. And maybe that's the point. Watch the next video if you're ready for something even darker than Bloody Mary.